Hey everyone, it's Wama and I hope you are doing well, and in today's video I did want to dive into this YouTube channel called Frightful. The channel has been posting on YouTube since February of last year, all of the videos featuring this pretty disturbing entity that's hiding under your bed. And while for the most part the channel doesn't really have a cohesive story, which is a little bit disappointing, I did want to showcase the channel just because I thought it was a pretty interesting one to go through. Especially when we do get deeper into the videos as the tapes start taking this questioning reality approach, especially when it gets to this video called The Cloud Grew Eyes, where the person making these videos doesn't know what's real anymore. Are they being deceived or are they lost in their own mind? But before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well as liking the video and commenting bruh, because as usual all these things surprisingly do help me out a lot, so if you could do them that'd be pretty cool. Also, I do want to give a huge shout out to you guys for supporting Larry's Tapes, the analog horror series that we covered in the last video with the analog horror psycho that steals your eyes. The channel is up to about 310 subs now. That's compared to I think there was like 60 when we first covered it. As you should always be sure to support the analog horror channels, as if they didn't exist mine wouldn't either. So all my love truly does go to them, and that's why I do try to cover these smaller channels as well, just because I do want to give them some more light to be able to, you know, showcase this creativity, because it's pretty awesome. But yeah, diving into this channel, the first video that I did want to check out is the video called Under Your Bed. In the video, the bedroom looks to be from the 90s, that's just me basing it off of the camera being used and the chunky TV in the background. However, below the bed is this entity staring at the viewer, tapping its fingers. It doesn't move and doesn't really show any signs of hostility other than being an unwelcomed house guest. However, other than that, nothing really happens in this video, and it acts more so as the channel's venture into the analog horror sphere. In the description it reads, "Is he asleep yet? Check under your bed. Is she asleep yet?" When going into the second video on the channel, it's called Do Not Go Through Little Door. Now this title, as we'll see later in the video, takes a lot of inspiration from Coraline, specifically when Mr. Bobinski tells Coraline not to go through the little door, saying that the mice told him to tell her that.
Jumping mice?
They are saying, do not go through little door.
And within the video we are back again in the same home from the previous video. This time, however, we're faced with this small door in the ground, that when the person filming decides to open it, they find the same creature that was hiding under the bed. The description gets a bit odd in this video as well, as it says do not go through little door over and over again, but then it says do you know such a thing, again this being in reference to Mr. Bobinski, but then it says I love you, I need you. Could these be the words of the entity speaking to the person filming? And just to kind of let my imagination go wild for a second, what I kind of thought when I first saw this video is that it being inspired by Coraline with the door that leads to a different reality. Maybe this video serves as kind of like a follow-up of another person who encountered a similar door in their own home, like in Coraline. And they did end up going inside, but when they did, they were unable to escape. Starved and trapped, their body began to deteriorate, but because of the laws of that world, they were unable to die, leaving their body to look the way it does now. But the person filming has opened the door, and they've finally been able to escape. So diving into the next video, it's called I See You. This one taking a little bit of a different approach, as the room that we're inside is completely dark. I even tried to put my screen at maximum brightness, but that didn't really help, unfortunately, although what you can make out is what seems to be a door. Now, as we've covered these past couple of videos, we haven't really gotten much lore, and I even mentioned that earlier, that these videos don't really have a cohesive story as to what is happening in this series, other than me just purely speculating potential possibilities. But in this video, this fourth video called You See It Now, we do get a little bit of lore on the channel. It begins by stating 8 years ago in 1984, the Federal Bureau of Anomaly Intelligence issued a warning alert, alerting everyone in the selected area to stay indoors or find shelter immediately. The alert did not say what was going on specifically, however something about the warning raised concerns and caused nationwide standstill. The emergency broadcast kept referring to something as it. This frightened many people due to the fact that it is so indirect. It could be anything. At the time of the broadcast, I was testing out my new camcorder. I was able to catch the disturbing warning on the tape. What percent of the it in question, the creature that came from the wall
reside, where imaginary horrors become all too real for an unfortunate few people who live with terror. People unable to distinguish nightmare from reality. This
Please listen close. This message is being broadcasted at the demand of the Prineville County Sheriff's Department and the Federal Bureau of Anomaly Intelligence. It has escaped, and authorities have been working diligently in attempt to find. If you are receiving this message, then it is strongly advised that you stop what you're doing and pay close attention to instructions given. If you are inside your home, lock all doors and windows. Do not answer your door in an event that it not. If you are not home, make your way to shelter for the safety of yourself and others. If you have children, keep them close and in your vision at all times until further development. Do not let them wander off, even while inside your home. If you are under the age of 20 and find yourself living alone, find a weapon and keep it near until further development. In an event that it has made its way inside your home, lock yourself in the nearest room and call your local police department. Curl up into a ball covering yourself as best as possible and wait until authorities arrive at your home. No matter how close it sounds to you, do not look up. It might attempt to come off as friendly, but take that as a sign that it wants to eat your face off. Stay calm as possible as authorities are working hard to get the matter under control. Await further instructions before returning to your regular scheduled life.
Now, this broadcast in itself is pretty interesting, as it says the anomaly only takes children, and that if you have any, that you should keep them close. Another oddly specific detail that is included is that if you are under the age of 20, to keep a weapon by your side. This was a little bit goofy to me when I saw it, just because it's like kind of like a very Leonardo DiCaprio entity. Like if you're over 20, it doesn't want you. Like why 20? But after the emergency broadcast concludes, this message appears saying, Despite the confusion and fear that the emergency broadcast caused, nothing ever came of it. After a week or so of no updates from authorities, mostly everyone who watched went back to their normal lives in an attempt to forget what they heard, including myself. Call me crazy, but now I think I found what they lost. Or maybe it found me. In the tapes prior, I've shown you. You've seen it too. Under my 6-year-old's bed, in the closet, crawling in my little door. The very next day, I went back to my small door, only to find nothing there but wall. You saw it though, right? I'm not crazy. I know what I saw. It's playing tricks with me. Then this footage begins to play where the entity leads the person into the crawl space.
Children live in the home. Do not have children live in the home. Do not have children live in the home.
And I'm gonna be completely honest, this might be the most adorable analog horror entity that I've seen. Like, you know what? You can stay. I would happily house this entity, feed it, and treat it with the utmost respect. But after this, we received this audio message from the anomaly.
Do not have children live in the home. Do not have children live in the home.
In the message, it asks if you have any children living in the home, which makes me believe that the person that was lured into the crawl space wasn't the person filming these videos, but instead was their child. Because just speculating a little bit, it would be a little bit odd for the entity to have such a cute face. So I feel like the entity can change their appearance, and so they changed it to a more friendly looking face so that the child would follow them inside of the small door. And in the next video, we get a little bit more lore on what is actually happening with this entity and if it can really change its face like that. In this following video is called The Smile of the Disturbed, and we're shown what happened directly after the child was lured into that small door. The anomaly trying to keep the child in there as long as possible. For what purpose is unknown. It sees you, don't be rude, wave back at it. The smile of the disturbed. Don't wave back, wave back. Don't wave back, wave back. Don't wave back, wave back. Now the rest of the 4 videos that are on the channel don't really continue this series and instead go into kind of one-off analog horror videos, because in the next video on the channel it's called The Forgotten Channel. It begins with someone watching TV late at night. before the broadcast is interrupted and this glitch appears on screen. It's unknown what this is and or what is even happening in this video, but the anomaly on screen is trying to escape the confines of the TV screen. It becomes this endless loop of a person watching the TV being sucked inside of the screen, only to be met with the same nightmare once again, slowly getting shoved deeper inside the rabbit hole. Now this video on its own is pretty creepy, and as I mentioned earlier, there aren't any really cohesive stories going on with these last 4 videos, but it really makes me want to theorize about this video, like whose POV we're watching and who was going through the TV, because I feel like there are 2 possibilities. Either this is a hallucination, where perhaps the person is having a bad trip off of some sort of substance, and now they are being haunted by this creature that appeared on their TV screen. Oh my goodness. I'm allergic to the analog horror. Kind of acting as this creation from the person's mind, playing tricks on them, throwing them through this infinite loop. Or this is an actual encounter where they've been sucked into a new reality for their brain to be turned to scramble. Either way, pretty creepy. In one of the last videos on the channel called The Sky Sees All, it's not clear what's happening in the video because it is incredibly dark out and all we can hear are the sounds of a thunderstorm. The person in the video zooms into something, but it's way too dark to make anything out. The description stating, "Look up, the sky is staring at us." And this video more so acts as a build-up to the next video, which is called The Cloud Grew Eyes. As in this one, it starts off displaying the local weather channel, a broadcast that is interrupted by a message accompanied by this creepy audio. Beware the cloud with eyes, for it sees all, every sin and transgression, every rise and fall. In its wake madness reigns and sanity flees. Those who dare to meet its gaze shall no fear, for the cloud with eyes whispers truths that sear, and when it vanishes into the abyss of night, only echoes of terror remain haunting with fright.
Where does it all start?
The video switches and we're brought outside into this field, the person filming directing the camera toward the sky, to which this otherworldly presence reveals itself. This is actually one of my biggest fears, to be honest, like something so massive and otherworldly that we simply cannot comprehend it. I wouldn't say it's megalophobia because I feel like it is a little bit different. Like if this giant entity was on Earth, I wouldn't freak out as much. But for some reason, when that entity is enormous and coming from space, it kind of freaks me out. Like I remember seeing this TikTok a while back about a demon destroying our moon. And for some reason, just the idea of that video, not necessarily the video itself, but the idea of this otherworldly demon coming to our solar system and eating our moon like it was nothing. I don't know, something about that freaks me out, especially since I look at the moon a lot. I like looking at the moon, you know? It's nice to see it during the day. It's kind of just hanging out there, just like a reminder that there's other stuff out there. But I don't want to be reminded that there could potentially be this massive creature that will eat our moon. All this to say is that the moon is very comforting to me. I like looking at it, and I don't like seeing videos of the moon being destroyed by aliens. But yeah, going back to the channel, as for any takeaways on this channel, I think the animations are incredibly creepy on their own. I do wish it did have an ongoing series. Like I would love to see more of these biblically accurate angels that appear in the sky, what it wants, and what it's doing there. The Forgotten Channel video also gave me a lot of Boiled One Phenomenon vibes, which I thought was cool as that is one of my favorite series. But yeah, let me know if you thought this channel was creepy, and if so, which one of these videos creeped you out the most. And I do want to give a huge shout out to all my beautiful channel members and my ultimate tiers, Kareem, Adiano, and Alejandro from the Tower. If you do want early access to videos as well as to support me, it's only $1.99. And yeah, I will see you later. Bye. Love ya.